Introducing first, the challenger, fighting out of the blue corner. She weighed in at 111.2 pounds. As a professional, her record stands with 16 victories, 3 defeats, 3 draws, 2 wins coming by way of knockout. She wears black with blue this evening and hails from Valdivia, Chile. She is ranked number 6 by the IBF and is the former WB Silver, WBO Latino, and WBA Fede Latin title holder, and the former IBO Super Flyweight Champion of the World. Please welcome the challenger, Daniela Leona Asenjo. Her opponent fights out of the red corner. She weighed in at 109.8 pounds. As a professional, she is undefeated, 13-0, 6 wins coming by way of knockout. She wears black with red and hails from Coachella, California. Please welcome the reigning, defending IBF Flyweight Champion of the World, Gabriela Sweet Poison Fundora.
Overcoming a 9-inch height advantage or so, an 8-inch height advantage, and the reach advantage. This is about as tough as it gets.
Oh yeah, Daniela has her work cut out for her because, like you said, the height advantage, the youth, it's a lot. You know, Fundora and her brother, they're always smiling, man, but in the ring, it's nothing nice about them.
Fundora's trained on the family compound, a full boxing compound in the Valley in California. Got the ring in the back. They've got a separate house for sparring partners that they bring in. It's all on the family farm. That sounds like paradise, Gabe.
Yeah, it's a fighter's dream. You know, Fundora right there, man, she landed a great counter left uppercut. And I like how she's cutting the ring off. You know, that's one thing that I see her improving on, is cutting that ring off.
Body work there from Fundora that comes up top with a nice right hook.
Good jab. Hooking off that jab, it's nice.
Extremely tall fighter, Fundora does not mind fighting on the inside when she needs to or when she wants to. And as you mentioned, there is kind of a viciousness about her approach that really switches on. The smile goes away, and Gabriela Fundora turns into a completely different person when that bell rings.
Absolutely. You know, right now she's sitting on her shots. She's punching with meat intention. You know, she's not punching to score points. She's punching to hurt her opponent.
Oh, nice left hook. Kind of a sweeping left hook there from Gabriela Fundora.
Watch your hits, watch your hits.
Decent shot there from Asenjo.
Yeah.
Left hook coming over the top.
Fundora landed that shot a couple times, that left uppercut to the gut. Putting money in the bank, slowing her down as the fight goes on.
Round 2 now underway. Gabriela Fundora, the reigning IBF Flyweight Champion, on the former world title challenger Daniela Asenjo of Chile, just the second Chilean woman to ever become a professional boxer. Even being here, landmark moment for boxing in her country, but she just got ripped with a wicked uppercut to the body there from Gabby Fundora. There's another one.
Yep. Daniela has to keep her elbows tucked in. She's leaving her body exposed, so that's why she keeps getting hit with that left uppercut. And one thing I would recommend for her to do is squat down a bit. You know, she's standing too tall. She should squat down and punch. You know, it's kind of like short shots like Joe Frazier. You know, slip, throw hooks off of those slips. But just squat down, get low. Get low and try to fight it in the inside. Take that range away from Fundora.
That body shot again, same shot, right to the midsection of Asenjo, and you'd have to imagine that's just going to keep on coming.
Yeah, and you know, Corey, the reason that uppercut is landing to the gut is because Daniela's moving to Fundora's left. So she should switch and start trying to move to her right. Change the angle.
A couple of fights ago, we saw Asenjo basically win a fight against Angelica Lucas basically just with her jab. But she really can't get that cooking in this fight whatsoever, not from that range and not against an opponent this big.
Yeah, the way you need to fight Fundora is, because Fundora is fundamentally sound and she has a good jab. You have to squat down, get low, fight her in the inside.
Go.
Nice left hand there from Fundora and a big right hook right at the bell. So round 3 begins. Dominant start for Gabriela Fundora as Daniela Asenjo just tries to find a way to pick that lock and find something that can work against Fundora here tonight.
We'll see right away, Corey. Daniela's moving to the left uppercut that Fundora's been landing throughout this fight. And she needs to make an adjustment and start moving to the opposite side. Fundora's doing a great job cutting the ring off. Nice step back. That was beautiful. Step back with the check left hook. Check right hook.
Yeah, that right hook, like you've been pointing out, Gabe, is just cutting off the exit for Asenjo. She can't move that way because she's running right into that shot again and again.
Yeah, and one thing about Fundora, her reflexes are so good. When she slips, she makes you pay immediately, She's not wasting
big
time.
left hand connects there from Fundora.
Wow.
And that one might have wobbled Asenjo. Just running into these left hands again and again. There's another one.
Fundora's tucking her chin in, and she's digging deep, doing some big shots. And that's what you want to do when you're in the middle of the exchange. You want to protect your chin.
Saw the CompuBox numbers a moment ago, and when you're landing your power punches at 43%, typically you're having a pretty good night.
Absolutely. Right there, there we go. Move to the opposite side, try to make, change the look.
Left hand down the middle again there from Fundora. Close in on the final 10 seconds here of round 3. Of course, 2-minute rounds. 10 2-minute rounds in this women's world title fight.
And you see that, Corey, that step back with the check right hook. She's able to pull that off because her balance is so good. The corner's telling her to close the gap. Close the gap, fight more inside.
That's Alejandro Concha, husband of Daniela Asenjo.
That was actually a good shot right there by Daniela.
I think to your point, Gabe, if there's an identity that Asenjo can maybe take on to have some success, it would be that kind of ambush fighter, jumping in with hooks, trying to surprise and disrupt the rhythm of Fundora, who is looking extremely comfortable right now.
The safest place to be is in the center of the storm. So with Fundora, you have to be right there on the inside in the center and fire your shots. The outside, she's in the danger zone.
With more from Fundora's corner, let's send it over to Beto Duran.
Well, it's a team effort. Father and son both giving instructions. They both said they really love the jab. And that the dad, Freddie, said he doesn't expect this one to go to the 6 because Gabriela is already locked in with that jab. They know they have a tough opponent, but he said look for the stoppage by the 6.
Thank you so much, Beto. Of course, Sebastian Fundora, fellow world champion, the brother of Gabriela, working the corner here tonight. As we mentioned, it's been a family affair for the Fundoras throughout their life. It began on long road trips in the Fundora family van, which did not have air conditioning, by the way, traveling to tournaments and back home, as Fundora starting to bust Asenjo up on the inside now, too.
And the beauty of it is Fundora is breaking her down from the body to the head. She rips to the body, she fires up top, so she's switching the volume of punches.
Big right hook a moment ago there from Fundora, and then the left hand comes right down the middle. The volume punching of Fundora starting to come into play and starting to really overwhelm Asenjo here at the end of round 4.
Fundora definitely dominated the round.
Round 5 underway. And you're seeing throughout this fight, Gabe, just how physically dominant Gabriela Fundora can be, and her father, Freddie, was talking to us about how difficult it is to find sparring that can actually stand in there with her and give her rounds. It's not enough to just find high-level amateurs, because the physicality, the size of Gabriela is just too much for most sparring partners that they can fly in.
Yeah, you know, they have to pay for sparring partner and get some good work in, because, and you know, you just see it, you know, Fundora, her balance, she sits on her punches well. She's cutting the ring off, just beautiful. And the conditioning is great. She actually is getting stronger as the fight goes on.
Well, speaking of that conditioning, you know, when you look at Fundora, who lands a beautiful left hand there, you see her frame and you think, okay, she's going to move up gradually in weight and start collecting titles. She actually thinks that her next move will be moving down.
Yeah.
She was 109 yesterday, so she feels that she might move down to 108 and maybe chase some titles there in the near future.
Yeah. And you know, she has a slim frame, but in boxing, the power comes from the foundation, from the balance. So her power comes from just that, the stance and the hips. And she sits well on those shots.
Final 30 seconds here of round 5. Fundora places that left hand to the body once more. See the swelling starting to intensify on the face of Asenjo, particularly around her left eye, where that jab is now landing directly upon it.
And what I like what Fundora's doing is she's not loading up. She's just pecking at her, pecking. And then she lands a big shot. So she's not giving Daniela the opportunity to adjust. His father's saying you're going to finish her.
Yeah, they've been saying that for a couple of rounds now, and they have every reason to believe that. Fundora more or less landing what she wants thus far in this fight as round 6 begins.
And you see that jab, Corey? It's a smart jab. She's not just throwing the jab to throw the jab. It's a setup jab. She's pecking. See that? Right, aiming right at the nose, setting something. Look at that, beautiful. Straight left right behind that jab. Smart boxing.
Nice body shot, that almost to the chest of Asenjo there from Fundora, straight left hand. There's that jab again.
You know,
starting to erode Asenjo here in the 6th.
Yeah, and you know what Daniela needs to do is she needs to start gambling, you know, throwing some big overhand shots and trying to see if she could just land something.
Asenjo looking for answers, and maybe Beto Duran can give us some insight on what might come next.
There's no answers, Corey. In that corner, there's concern. They said, throw the right hand. That's all you have right now. That's the corner. How difficult is it? He's more than we thought.
Hard body shot again there from Fundora. Thank you so much, Beto. And brutally honest assessment there from the corner of Asenjo.
Fundora's a killer, man. She's breaking her down. Smart shots up and down to the body. The chin is tucked. Defense is on point. It's a great performance.
Yeah, I think you see the physical dimensions on paper, Gabe, but as Asenjo's corner is talking about, you maybe don't realize just what you're in for until you step in the ring against Fundora.
Yeah, Fundora's different. She's a different kind of fighter. But it's, you know, it's not easy. It's not easy. Fundora's on point. And Fundora sees everything. She has an answer for everything.
Well, and with the height and reach advantage that she has a lot of time to react to anything that Asenjo is thinking of doing. Like, Asenjo obviously told us, I want to make life uncomfortable for her. I want to get to the inside. Doing that requires walking through shots like that.
Yeah. And the beauty is when Fundora lands the big shots, she gets right back to the jab. And the jab was not allowing Daniela to catch a rhythm. It breaks her rhythm every time she's trying to answer back.
There's a sneaky uppercut on the inside from Asenjo that comes over the top of the left hook. Kind of bounced off the shoulder of Fundora there.
Nice.
Beautiful chopping left hand there from Fundora.
That shook up the legs of Daniela right there. That quick little short, straight left.
Fundora pulling out the up jab, really digging into her bag here. Full offensive arsenal coming out from Gabriela Fundora. And as you've alluded to, Gabe, another one of the difficulties of fighting Fundora for Asenjo here tonight is there aren't really technical flaws in anything that Fundora is throwing. Everything is laser straight and technically sound.
I was just thinking that she's so disciplined. You know, with her, sometimes when a fighter's dominating a fight, they get lazy or they get bored in between rounds, right? But she stays disciplined to the game plan. And she's not changing up, she's not switching up, she's doing what she needs to do.
Trio of big left hands in the final 15 seconds from Fundora.
Right here, that was a check right hook that Fundora's been landing all day. And just being patient, pecking with that jab, pecking with that jab. Nice up jab right there, underneath, check hook. Just every time Daniela makes a move, Fundora has an answer. And right there, pecking with that jab. And that jab is what allows that straight left to get in.
Seconds out.
Laser sharp.
Box.
Round 8 begins. Gabriela Fundora in complete control here against Daniela Asenjo. Fundora, former national amateur champion, now world champion at Flyweight, making her second title defense.
You know, Daniela's trying, right? But she's diving in. You don't want to dive in with Fundora. She's too skillful. You don't want to dive in. You want to step in with a double jab. You know, you want to step in with something smart. You don't want to go in and just dive in. That's why she's getting hit with so many counters. Wow.
And just a perfect 1-2 there from Fundora.
And that nose is busted. Daniela's nose is leaking right now.
Well, Asenjo said that she felt that she could absorb the power of Fundora because she's fought much heavier than this. Again, this is the only time in her career that she's actually made 112. And indeed, she is absorbing this punishment, but so far, that's basically all she's been able to do.
Yeah. And it's almost like she's almost on survival mode too, though.
Just to reach to the inside with a right hand, did Asenjo, but walked right into another left hand from Fundora. Hard body shot there from Fundora again.
And you know, Fundora doesn't even have to load up. She's doing what she needs to do, which is just peck away right there.
All right, that left hand just snapped the head back of Asenjo.
And look at Fundora's eyes, sharp, on point, looking at her target, picking her shots wisely.
Hard body shot, hard left hand, hard right hook, everything cooking for Gabriela Fundora.
And
Round 9 begins. And you know, there is always that temptation, Gabe, of kind of taking that consolation prize, so to speak, of saying, hey, I went the distance with this elite fighter. I went the distance in a world title fight. The question is that additional 4 minutes of punishment that she could be taking from Fundora, is it worth it?
Yeah, you want to go the distance, but you want to be, you know, competitive. You don't want to survive. She's pretty much surviving. She's been getting beat throughout the whole fight.
Let's send it back over to Beto Duran, who might have more on this situation.
And Gabe, there's no concern in the corner of Asenjo because they said that they're not going to stop this fight. They're going to let her keep going, that she's a warrior. I don't know. Remember, her trainer is also her husband.
Well, Gabriela Fundora might be trying to take matters into her own hands right here. That was a fantastic three-punch combination a moment ago that snapped the head back of Asenjo again. And the body language of Asenjo is starting to worsen. And with the head snapping back, you do wonder if at some point one of these combinations is going to compel the official to wave this one off.
Yeah, Corey, and you can see it in her legs. You know, her legs are wobbly. She doesn't have a strong foundation underneath her. Look, she's laying on the ropes. because the legs are starting to give out. She's getting hit.
Let it go. Let it go.
At will.
Just a brutal offensive performance from Gabriela Fundora. Absolutely relentless as another two-punch combination reigns in.
Nice body shot. Like, wow.
Full extension on that right hook.
Right hook. Wow.
Just wailing away on Asenjo, who's been given the green light to go the distance, but at what cost?
Here's Fundora's just closing the gap, landing a great right hook, doubling up with it. Great body shot underneath. She's been doing that all day. Big shots up top and finishing to the body. And you know, Daniela just doesn't have an answer for any of these shots. She has heart. You got to give her props because she does have heart. Right there.
Box. Round 10 begins. And she might not win a world title here tonight, but Daniela Asenjo might earn the title of the world's toughest violinist and psychologist, because she has walked through an absolute thrashing from Gabriela Fundora tonight.
And Fundora wants the KO. She's walking her down. She's landing big shots. She wants to finish this fight with a knockout. Love that jab. Doubling
nice
up right there.
Again, there it is, and the left hand right down the middle.
And Daniela's stubborn, man. She ain't going out. She's not cooperating.
You can see, Gabe, just the processing speed of Asenjo just not there here in the 10th round. When she's thinking about loading up on that left hook, the punches from Fundora, there's about 4 of them in her face before she can even move her hands.
Yep. Fundora's laser sharp, on point. Just a complete fighter.
The Asenjo trying to do what you were suggesting earlier, firing that right hand, but Fundora just gets there first.
Yeah. But you know, Fundora already has her rhythm down pat, because you know, Daniela is doing the same thing as each round goes. So Fundora already has her time.
Nice body shot again, and then the left hand up top. Closing moments of this contest, and Fundora just will not stop. And if you didn't know it already, this woman is a problem for anyone in her weight neighborhood.
Wow. She didn't get the knockout, but that was a great performance. Great job of Fundora.
We now go to the judges' scorecards, where Max DeLuca, David Sutherland, and Steve Weisfeld each scored this contest 100-90. All 3 in favor of your winner by unanimous decision, still undefeated and still the IBF Flyweight Champion of the World, from Coachella,